Hi everyone, welcome to the Eavesdrop Reports, where I report news on trending topics around the world and on this YouTube street. So today I'm going to be giving a reaction or more of my thoughts on the interview with Tashak, the interview she did with Stephanie Taylor. But before that, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that you can support me in cranking out more of these videos. So before we start, like I said, I appreciate Tasha K for bringing on Miss Stephanie Taylor to tell her story, to finally relieve herself of all this burden that she's been holding back. And I also thank Miss Stephanie Taylor for having the courage to actually face her truth and come out with the truth with such a large audience. I'm just gonna let you guys actually hear some of the things, and then we'll come back and we'll have a discussion. Okay?
Me feel so comfortable, and she made me feel as though I could truly trust her. She's convincing. She is her father's child. She definitely is her father's child. She convinced me to meet with her. So then she hits me back. I told her I was at the Burger King having breakfast. You know, can she meet me there? She said, no, Mama, come back to the house. I'm sorry. I was in the room getting dressed. Then it was, oh, I was sleeping. I'm sorry. She was running late, blah, blah, blah. So she said, no, come back. Come back. But you got to hurry because I have to be somewhere. So I hurried, scurried my butt back to the house, and I told her, can you meet me by your mailbox? She said, just pull up a little bit. So I did, and it didn't take me in the horseshoe, but it took me to the end of the driveway. I couldn't see who was coming until the feet came from behind the car.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the whole ground opened up and swallowed me. And he was like, what are you doing here? I was like, I just got off the phone with your daughter.
Wait a minute, so Kincaid was there.
Kincaid came out.
Oh.
And he wanted to see the texts and stuff. And I was like, no, these texts are between me and your daughter. But how would I get this address? And why would I be here this early in the morning? For what reason would I be here early in the morning if someone didn't send me this address and tell me? He's like, my daughter ain't do that. You mean to tell me you and Shawnee been, communicating? I said, yes. We've been communicating for a few weeks now. He didn't believe me. He wanted to see the phone. I told him no. I put my car in reverse, and I got out of the daggone driveway. I hit her back because I began to have a panic attack. I didn't know if I was going to have a heart attack or what. My mind is racing right now. I'm saying this is where I should be killing myself. I am not lying. And I have it all on text. So I'm crying. I pull over to the side of the road. I'm thinking everything. Girl, you need to calm down because if anything happened to you on the side of this road, first of all, your husband don't want to know what are you doing here because you told him you was going to the insurance company to pay your car insurance. But I didn't. I went to her crib. She claimed she lived there. Her father said she wasn't even in town. And then she told me I was overreacting, calm down. And I was like, can you just please come check on me because I'm not well right now. Why would you do this to me? Why would you send your dad outside? And she texted me, and she's like, my dad literally came outside. I said, your dad came outside to my car, and he wanted to see our Texas. And then it was, no, my mom told him to go outside. I said, I could respect it and accepted it better if your mother came outside. But you're going to send the person who molested me outside? When he did let it in, she was like, what's going on in here? Stephanie, tell me what's going on. But I was like a deer in headlights. You can't tell that my damn shirt is on the wrong way. I'm disshuffled, but you left me there. You left me there knowing you could tell your husband did something to me. And then she knew. She knew. That's not the first time she, caught me with him. She just bypassed everything. And she blamed me. She kicked me out of her dance group. She told me she never wanted to see me again, and that hurt me so bad. Once again, you still didn't push and ask me, is my boyfriend doing anything to you?
Okay, guys, so you just saw or heard some snippets of the interviews that I want to highlight and just shine some light on. And I just want to let everybody know first of all, Douglas or Thomas Douglas was and is a monster, and there's no way that, of course, in what I'm going to be singing, I'm redirecting, blame or anything to anyone. However, for me, I like, as I was listening to this interview, I was like, wow, all the adults in this particular woman's life failed her. All the adults, from her biological parents to the parent, to her relatives, and to the people that her parents actually basically gave her to, Tina, particularly Tina, Ashanti's mom, to guide and protect her, who actually did say that they're going to guide and protect her. They all failed this woman. But what I want to particularly talk about is the women's reaction. And it's in particularly Tina, and then of course Ashanti's reaction. And it just seems so typical, you know, typical of women reacting that way when we hear of a young girl or a woman being raped. And I'm not saying all, so don't get all up in frenzy saying, oh, she said women, whatever. But it just seems like a pattern all the time of, it seems as if women don't care. As long as it's not them being raped, they don't care what is happening to the next girl, the next little girl. A lot of the times, and you don't even need to look further. Go on Why with Tasha K's interview with R. Kelly's brother, Carrie Kelly, and in the comments section is just riddled with women talking about their abuse, their molestation, their rape. And a lot of the time it's like, my mother knew, my grandmother, my auntie knew, or they told me to shut up, or even worse, they're still with the person that raped me, they're still with my molester. And it's so shocking as I'm growing up to see that this is women's reaction to something so traumatic. And the interesting thing is that you would think that as a woman, a female, we would have such greater bond with one another because of our historical past and what we continue to endure. It's so sad to see that some women literally react this way. Look at Tina Douglas. It's like she did not care that her boyfriend was molesting this girl. All she cared about was the fact that she needed to stay with this man, he needed to marry her. So whatever he was doing, she kind of closed an eye to it. It's like you can tell that even this monster of a man, whatever he did, of course she would never forget or forgive him. But the fact that the woman that her mom gave, the woman that she looked up to, in essence literally betrayed her. She felt so betrayed by Tina. All because a lot of the time, women, we put our value based on a man. If we're not married, if we're not with a man, if we don't have a child with a man, then we are seen as worthless. And so a lot of women, they don't even care if their own daughters, their own little girls are being molested and raped by the men that they're with. As long as that man is financially supporting them, they will close an eye. Isn't that so sad? Look, let's not even look too far into history. Just recently, with this R. Kelly, surviving R. Kelly thing, who behind the scenes are supporting this man to dehumanize, to exploit these girls? Who does he give them off to? Women? Even some women, some mothers, they literally gave them their daughters to this man just for money. It's so sickening and it's so disheartening to see. And it just seems as if with Miss Stephanie Taylor, she was just looking for anyone that was involved, especially any of the women who she thought would actually, come close to her and give her a hug and say, I'm sorry for what happened. And the funny thing is, when Tasha K actually did that at the end, it was like she felt such a relief, because that's what she was looking for all those women who she thought she can trust, who she did trust, but said nothing at all, but didn't give a damn. Look what Ashanti did. Her reaction to this woman coming to her, that your father, molested me or raped me. She set this woman up. This is not like a surprise. A lot of women do this, and we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We don't care if our little girls are being molested by the man that we're with because our value is based on him. And these little girls are growing up so holding on to such trauma, they're never the same. And it's not women in only a certain community. All women. It's all women in every single community. So I don't want to be hearing it's only this only happens in this community, this only happens in no. And trust me, if you don't live in a city where it's multicultural, there's different ethnicities, you wouldn't know, because you're only surrounded by a certain type or a certain group of ethnic people. So your reality is based on them. But trust me, it's all women that continuously do this. They themselves also exploit little girls and other women. They don't care that another woman, another female is being molested, is being raped, is being dehumanized, is being exploited. They enjoy it and they join these men. So how are things ever going to change when we also enjoy the same thing that these men are doing to us? And then we want to scream women empowerment. We want to scream, oh, we're all for women and, things changing. I'm so relieved that Miss Stephanie Taylor was able to get this off of her chest. And the fact that, she was able to come to a woman who was able to actually give her a platform, do something positive for her, because it seems as if all of these women that she encountered in her life failed her. How are they, people in her family, gonna say, what are you doing with this man? Why are you always with him? And not question anything, not probe anything. At least, the least you can do is find someone or point her in the right direction to support her. Someone who's going to support her if you can't do it. But no one was able to do it. And we need to do better in supporting ourselves. If we can't do it, point that woman to someone else who can. This was one of the things that I found in this interview to be so disheartening, and I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until then, take care.